Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you've tuned in today. We're coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio here on the Missouri Sports Network. We go down south, and not our first visit to South Iron High School, but maybe our first with the Lady Panthers and head coach Jimbo Blackwell. Coach Blackwell, hey, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Coach, off to a tremendous start. You're about 80% through the season. You finished 26-2 a year ago. Tremendous run in the state. Talk a little bit about what you lost to graduation, what you had to replace coming into this season, and some of the young ladies that are filling in those roles.
Well, actually, this is my first year here, so wasn't not real familiar with last year, but I think they lost one senior. But basically, we have five starters back.
Okay, well that's a good problem to come into. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
a
Absolutely.
great
Absolutely.
situation. Coach, tell us a little bit. With your record right now, what are some things you feel like you're really doing well as a team?
Well, I think we're getting better defensively a little bit every game. Our rebounding, I feel like, has improved leaps and bounds over the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've really tried to make our schedule, especially these last 2 weeks, as hard as we can get it to prepare us. And I just kind of feel like we're in a pretty good place right now.
And talking about your schedule, maybe just briefly kind of run through who some. I know you played Vashon, here, during the season, but tell us a little bit about that beefing up of that schedule.
Well, we went up to the Sophie Cunningham Classic in December and beat a really good Lincoln Prep team. Uh, we lost to Olathe North Kansas by 11, but we were for the most part in that game. We played in 48 hours of basketball in Springfield and defeated Eldon in a really close game. Monday night, we just played Jackson, a Class 6 school, and we're fortunate enough to beat them. And we've got the number one team in Class 1 in the state of Arkansas coming in here today, Mammoth Springs, to play us at 4 o'clock. And then next week, we've got Farmington and Donovan. So we feel like it's definitely going to help us.
And just a little bit, again, visiting with South Iron Lady Panthers head basketball coach Jimbo Blackwell. Coach Blackwell, just a little bit about your history. This is your first year, you said, at South Iron. Where did you kind of college, high school, and coach in the past?
Okay, well, I'm originally from Donovan, Missouri, and graduated from Donovan High School and played baseball at Three Rivers and actually played baseball at Southwest Baptist. But as far as the coaching goes, I spent 13 years as girls coach at Donovan from 1995 to 2008. Then just the athletic director for 7 years, and then retired from teaching in 2015 and moved to a little town called Eminence and ended up coaching there for 6 years and did not coach last year. And then when this job came open, I was fortunate enough to get it, and so I was pretty familiar with this. The Lady Panthers are the team that's knocked us out about every year at Eminence in the district championship game, so I'm pretty familiar with this bunch.
Very good. Well, Coach, you got three young ladies there alongside you. We'll start out here with Alicia. Tell us a little bit about her and what makes her special.
Well, she's really been playing well lately. Alicia can shoot it. She can handle it. She's really good on the ball defender, and can just brings a little bit of everything and experience. She's like these other two. She's been here before, and she's just does a little bit of everything.
Alicia, how are you today?
Good.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Coach talked about what position you played. Has that been your role? You're a senior. Has that been your role your entire high school career, or have you changed roles?
That's pretty much been my roles for a really long time because I'm not a post player and probably will never be a post player. But point guard, shooting guard, most of the time it's shooting guard. But yeah.
Tell us a little bit about The team right now, you're 18-2, I believe. What are some goals that you had coming into this season? I know you go to the Final Four, a year ago. What are some personal and team goals that you had coming into this season?
Well, first and foremost, we've got the Christmas tournament, and we had the new Columbia games up in Columbia. The goal of that was to get better and to mentally challenge ourselves. And I think that we did a really great job on that, playing bigger schools and getting out of our comfort zone, really pushing us. A little small tournaments that getting those out the way and winning those were definitely part of helping us get where we are. And just small things during the games that helped us, like new drills, all new plays, learning those. That was a big part of it.
Tell us a little bit about, you've got a big game tonight with Mammoth. I believe Mammoth out of Arkansas coming in. What do you do to kind of get prepared? What are you doing during the day to kind of get prepared? Are you, whether it's drinking a lot of water, or resting, or maybe you got certain music you like to listen to? How do you get ready for a game?
Well, yeah, I definitely listen to a lot of music. I have a sit down when we talk to the players. We watch a lot of game film. We put up some free throws, get a little bit of shots in, and basically rest most of the day.
When that ball goes up in the air, are you nervous? At the beginning of a game, how do you calm your nerves?
Oh, well, at the beginning of the game, yeah, the nerves are kind of there, but after like the first minute or so, they're just totally gone, and I'm just ready to play ball and get after it.
More nervous game time or more nervous right now?
Right now.
We're 5 minutes into this, so surely you need to relax. But hey, you did a great job, Alicia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, who do we have next here in the middle? Tell us a little bit about.
Just Drew Gale. Drew is, I guess you could say, our 5-man. We're not very big. She's the biggest player we have. Drew does a tremendous job and does so many things that don't show up in the box score. She's absolutely great help defender, great rebounder, can hit the open three when it's there, and just does so many things that doesn't necessarily show up in the box score or the newspaper the next day.
Drew, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your progression. You're a senior as well. Have you always been in that 5 or that post type player situation?
So my freshman year, I was like a lot like skinnier, didn't have a lot of muscle, and I was just kind of weaker. And we had an older girl that was a senior, and she was our main post player. But I guarded some of the post players because I was tall. But I think definitely as I've went out, I've grown to be more of how she was, the main post player, and also kind of like the mother to the team, kind of just keeping everyone under control. But I think my role has probably changed a lot since my freshman year. I'm more confident and more in control than I was my freshman year.
If you could go back to that Drew Gale as a freshman right now, the 2023 Drew Gale, if you could go back and give yourself some advice as a freshman, what advice would you give yourself?
I think it would just be like more confident and not so scared of messing up, but messing up and then learning from those mistakes and using those to get better, and just trying to get out of my comfort zone a little more and just trying to get better overall and do things that I wouldn't normally do.
As you look back on your high school career, and specifically this year, are there games that you got up for? Maybe if it's a rivalry game, I know just by virtue of what I do, I'll go through the schedules and I say, I would like to see this game or this game. Do you find yourself doing that as a player, looking forward to games on your schedule?
Yeah, I definitely think one of our like main games that I look forward to is obviously the Delta game, like just because we have so much tension and rivalry there. And then also like Christmas tournament, those games are always games you want to play good in because there's so many people there. Like it's just a crazy atmosphere. But any like big tournaments and any game in the postseason is when I really just get the most excited and ready to play.
You bet. Drew, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Again, we're visiting with South Iron Panthers head girls basketball coach Jim Blackwell here on our Country Financial Team of the Week segment. 18-2, a Final Four run a year ago. And Coach, we have one last player there alongside. Tell us a little bit about this young lady.
Well, it's Madison Ayers, and she's a returning Class 1 Player of the Year, and she is our point guard. And you know, a lot of times we go as she goes. She's very, very unselfish. Ball can also score. Has done a really good job this year rebounding the basketball also. And, you know, she's our point guard. She makes us go and, you know, very unselfish and gets her teammates involved and just appreciate all the things she does.
Madison, how are you?
I'm good.
Tell us a little bit about I know you've went over 1,600 or 1,700 points already, 500 steals, rebounds, assists, whatever it may be. What of those, I guess, so those accomplishments, which of them stands out the most to you?
It would probably I absolutely love passing the ball to my teammates and creating shots for them.
And I'll ask you the same question as I asked Drew. As you coming into this season, were there games that you were looking forward to playing?
Yeah, I was pretty excited about the Sophia Cunningham one. It's definitely a different experience, and I was really excited because we were going to play teams that would help us get better for the playoff season. And I'm definitely excited to be able to play Delta again this year. After losing to them last year, it gives us a lot of like fire too, because we really want to go back to the Final Four.
You know, and a lot of times you start to reflect here you are in your senior year. You're 85% of your basketball's done with regards to this season. Are there games that you look back over your career that you'd like to go back and replay? Maybe it was a game, maybe you scored your 1,000th point or your 1,500th, or it was a game you played really well, or maybe it was a game that got away from you that you feel like you should have won or could have won, that you'd really like to go back and play that game again because of that atmosphere. Are there any games like that stand out to you?
Yeah, there's been quite a few. I mean, my freshman year, the game against Naylor, it was definitely an awesome game because I got to go to like the Final Four with my sister, so that was a cool experience. And just winning that type of game with that type of like people and the atmosphere was awesome. And a game that I would definitely want to go back to would also probably be Delta last year because I know that we was prepared for it, but at the same time we wasn't. And I know that like we probably should have won that game, but we just mentally wasn't there.
Very good. Now I'm going to start back here with Alicia and anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, maybe mom or dad that may be watching this, or relatives, anyone you'd like to just say hi to.
Yeah, actually, I'd love to get a shout out to all family members and, of course, Jimbo and our former coach, Coach Graves, and Jeff, and all of the assistant coaches and all the parents that have helped us. They've been with us since we were little kids, basically, and they've been with us throughout our whole entire journey.
Drew, anyone you would like to say hi to?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my parents for obviously taking us everywhere. You know, it's not just during basketball season, but during the summer too. We travel all over the place, and all of our coaches have just helped us to get here and put time in with us.
And Madison, how about yourself?
Definitely my parents too. My parents have put in a lot of money and time for me to get where I am today, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. And our coaches are also doing the same thing, putting a lot of time into us, making sure and pushing us hard because they know what we could do.
You bet. Well, Coach Blackwell, I certainly appreciate you helping set this up, and your assistant coach, Coach Ayers, setting this up, and letting maybe I think you may be in his classroom.
We are. We are.
Yeah.
We are.
Very good. Well, hey, best of luck tonight as you take on Mammoth, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity. I was actually the ambassador for South Iron boys team last year at the state Final Four. So maybe we'll get to see you. And then Coach Dinkins is an SBU guy as well. And his son's playing here right now. But ladies, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Have a tremendous rest of the season, and hopefully we'll get to catch back up with you.
Thank you so much.
you.
Thanks for having us.
You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, on YouTube and Twitter. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.